I mean, that's a pretty metal way to end a season. Your character becomes a suicide bomber to save a town. Terrorism for the win. That's kind of like we shattered it. See, I thought we were going to have to make a temporary deal with this guy to stop this. Ooh, that's bad. That means this bitch can poison but not neutralize anymore. Who would have thought a fate worse than death? If she ever poisons anyone again, we can't neutralize. Yeah, maybe don't just give the basic goal of aim for the top, because a psychopath could become the craziest killer. See, the thing is, I would say use poison. The thing is, he has poison nullify or poison fix or whatever the hell it's called now, so he can just heal his own allies. Oh, so basically this is his equivalent of being a suicide bomber, which could, in theory, could also make it so he doesn't walk away either. Now does our boy walk it off? Who's to say he couldn't be reborn a second time? Kind of interesting. Rather than it just being like another Isekai character, it's legitimately just the people in this world who can also hear the voice sometimes. It's really interesting. Are you telling me that she has become queen of the monkeys? Keep in mind, I don't think she can heal the monkeys anymore. Is it really another egg? I mean, that's quite the bait and switch. I thought that was another egg situation. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be hard as hell to find his way back, but at least he can fly, right? Damn. That's gotta be the wildest Isekai ending of this season, man. Those are some of the highlights. You want to get your full live reaction, though, is over on my Patreon among all the reactions. But let's jump into it. Dragon Hatchling. As far as I know, no Season 2 announcement just yet. Could come even before I post this video. Could come later. Could come never. We hate it when we can't come. But at the end of the day, this was a very enjoyable show. Did it stand at the very tippity top with all my favorites this season? No. But do I leave feeling like it was a pretty great show? I think so. And I think the reason why this one feels like the craziest of endings is because when you really start stripping down piece by piece everything that happened, the freshest stuff on my mind, which happened at the very end, they bait you making you think the MC died and was going to restart again as another egg. And to be honest, I was kind of fucking with that idea. On one hand, you lose all the progress. On the other hand, maybe you get a better round of forms this time. But no, it turns out he just got washed away. Shipwrecked, so to speak. Bro is straight up washed on an island somewhere. Now, granted, he does have big old wings. Unless they gave him some permanent injury that's going to make it so he can't fly for a bit, which could be a likely scenario. But either way, we fucked up the slime, who decided to reveal that wasn't another Isekai. Like, here's the thing, right? We're so used to these shows being like, oh, here's a secret Isekai character. No, the slime we were fighting wasn't Isekai, but the slime had the same abilities we had, can talk to the goddess, also can see stats. Okay. That's a little interesting. So we have the whole, hopefully we can meet back up with our animal pals. Probably going to meet up with the hero girl who's going to be on her own adventures. We also lost a very key ability for Black Lizard. So while she was in the goo, the crystal, I don't know, I guess you could kind of view it as almost like a stomach acid absorbing the nutrients. The slime stole a skill. Now, nothing has been said to indicate that skill was returned to her. The skill in question is the poison cure. So remember how she used to poison these monkeys or other people, but we could always have her heal? In theory, she doesn't have that ability anymore. Which makes her being the foreman of the 4 monkeys as they wait for Daddy Dearest to return a little freaky. Because I don't think she realizes she don't got that cure anymore. Maybe she does, I don't know. But either way, that's a really funny thing because I wasn't expecting them. Because the way the music was building, I was like, oh, the dragon's probably in the fucking cavern. They expanded or something. No, they just straight up subtitled these creatures talking to each other. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty fucking fantastic. Because the only things that we properly talked with, creature-wise, was the slime we just fought and the original Monkey King. Otherwise, there wasn't really any communication. So that's kind of interesting. And the thing I really like about seemingly him not being another reincarnated character, but rather just there was a voice in my head who encouraged me to be strong. I'm gonna go kill and get as many skills and powers as I can. You're just doing the objective that was given to you, right? So the concept of, hey, I really don't want to fight this dragon. The dragon stats are better than my own. Might be able to kill the dragon, not a guaranteed. I'd much prefer not having the dragon as an enemy. Probably the reason the dragon wants to fight me is there's a barrier communication issue. I just need to convince him, right? Is this character an objectively evil character? No. He's a creature just doing his thing. However, this is what always drives me insane. There's a group in the anime community who'll be like, they're not evil, they're just doing their thing. It doesn't fucking matter, right? At the end of the day, if they're doing things to characters that we don't want them to do, and that is seen as an evil action, they are an evil character. There is a clear difference of willingly being evil because you're a psychopath and just, yes, doing your natural programming that is not acceptable by our standards. But when people say a character like this is evil, you don't need to go clickety-clacking on your keyboards. Well, he's just an animal doing his thing. Like, shut the fuck up, okay, Joe? No one wants to hear that shit. It's fucking annoying. But yes, it is interesting that, you know, rather than like, oh, I was reborn now, I'm pissed off about my life, it's, yo, since birth, there was a crazy voice in my head who just told me to get powerful. I'm gonna do my thing. It's a very interesting character trait. Wasn't sure how he's gonna deal with him, though, to be fair. Suicide bombing was not on my bingo card. Like, bro straight up went as high as he physically could and then just fell. See, that's why I really bought into the maybe he did get reborn again. Like, maybe that's a key skill of his, that if he dies, he can just restart again from scratch, which would be a very interesting ability. But seemingly, no, he just got washed away when the river started to gush again. The big thing, and I think the big question I have, what exactly is the goddess's purpose, right? Because seemingly the voice in our head who has fucked us around to the point that we have more than found out is giving multiple creatures with potential to reach great heights the goal of just like trying to get stronger. But what for? Is there a big force that will happen someday that you need to build a strong enough character to deal with? Is it a goddess just having fun? Is it someone in the sky bored out of their mind, so they just say, hey, we're going to give insane power to a handful of group of characters. Let's see who comes out on top. It's hard to say. The thing is I haven't trusted that voice for a hot minute. I don't believe there will ever be a humanoid form in the way that has been presented to him. They even touch upon this. I had some people in my comment section last week. He does have a humanoid form, right? Like when the adventurers came into his cave and they saw him. Yes, that is a humanoid form. The thing is every time we've been promised something, it's never been the way that we interpret it. Maybe that's on us, but you can't dangle someone who was clearly human in his first life. Here's a humanoid form. You know what you're doing. I think a proper human-looking, as human as can be anyway, like maybe we got a dragon tail, maybe we got some dragon ears. I don't think that will ever happen. I think the goddess's entire purpose is to dangle whatever desire for the person or creature in question to get them to become the strongest version of themselves. We could have went for Holy Dragon, and I think we still would have got fucked over. I think for that slime, power is what it wanted, right? Because there's a very quick shot where you see him being kind of ostracized by the other slimes. So by dangling power, that's what gets him to pursue. For him, dangle, you can be human again. I think that's what the goddess is actually doing. It's dangling for different creatures their darkest or deepest desires, and that's why we pursue. We're just the one character being like, wait a second. Maybe things are a little weird. Probably because we come from another world. That's my interpretation. And why I think the show, you know, this ain't your run-of-the-mill Isekai. I'm not saying it's the 10 out of 10 best show of the season. Some animation could have been improved. I would have preferred not having to skip, on average, 5 to 7 minutes per episode for recap and openings every week. But at the end of the day, it was still a fairly great show with a lot of thought-provoking natures. Listen, this show was pretty great. I would gladly watch a season 2. I hope for a season 2, but if for some reason we just got left off here, well, eventually, sure, I'll forget about it. I think I'll remember this one for longer than I would your actual average shows of the season. This one, I think, pretty great out of 10 is a great rating for it. Overall, no pun intended. Let me know your thoughts down below. Theories if you got any. If you don't know of that source material, drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, of course, and Patreon for live reactions you live over there, and other exclusives, because you know I got to give those video shouts to my patrons because of why I can get these YouTube videos at all. Alright, so today we got Blizzard, Kamozo Beat, Samuel Soliday, Konako1110, Ari Hakakushi, Francisco, Kenneth Dade, and we also have AI 740, so I appreciate the support. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.